Today's Wednesday, January 3, 2018, and we're 4 days away from the date when I think there's going to be twin signs in the weather or in the natural world in the Australian region to act as a sign for Tropical Cyclone Irving, which I think will be severe Tropical Cyclone Irving, and I think Irving will be the big cyclone of this season for Australia. So yeah, there's also a chance of storms this coming Sunday, which is the date I'm talking about, Sunday the 7th of January 2018, which happens to be the birthday of a boy who is turning 15, and the last time I saw John, he was telling me that he was doing an assignment at school on volcanoes. So maybe there will be erupting twin volcanoes in Indonesia, or maybe it's going to be very hot this weekend, so maybe it's got something to do with bushfires, twin bushfires. I don't know what it is. Twin storms. There's twin supercells raging in Queensland right now as I speak, but my prediction is for this coming Sunday, and I think it'll be something quite obvious, not something that you have to go, oh maybe it was that, or it could have been that. I think it'll be like, oh yeah, oh well, yeah, that does make sense. Twins acting as a sign for Tropical Cyclone Irving.
Over the last 7 days, we've had a lot of rain for parts of Australia, including the Kimberley region, where Cygnet Bay had over half a meter of rain. Now, this was associated with the first landfall of tropical cyclone of the season. Cyclone Hilda made landfall last week in the Kimberley region and brought widespread totals over 200 millimeters to that area, including that Cygnet Bay region. And that brought some flooding for inland areas across the sandy desert, but it wasn't as bad as initially predicted. You can see that we only picked up some very isolated regional totals over there, and not the widespread rain we were thinking would happen with that system. If we shift a little bit further to the east now and take a look at what was happening across Queensland and down into New South Wales and Victoria, we've had thunderstorms over the last week, and those have produced some isolated heavy rainfall rates. In fact, rainfall rates have been ranging about half an hour, getting over 50 millimeters of rainfall, and that was around Townsville on Tuesday. We've also seen weekly totals in excess of 100 millimeters for parts of the Wide Bay Burnett region, and most of that falling in the space of just a few hours over the last weekend. Now let's take a look at the rain over the next few days, because we do have a lot more to come. This is Thursday's rainfall forecast. Showers and storms not showing up too much in southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales, but over the north of the country we are going to see some pretty heavy rain in showers and thunderstorms. And that is really going to be the activity that's going to be about for much of the next week. Not too much on Friday for the remainder of the country, excluding the tropics, easing back on Saturday for the Queensland Peninsula. But at some point we're going to be seeing another burst of the northern Australian monsoon. This will be the second active phase of the season. Now, on Saturday into Sunday, we're going to see a cool change sweep the southeast. That's for the cold front. It looks like a fairly dry change, but it will be heralded by thunderstorms in parts of New South Wales, including right down to the Eden region and up around Bega, and then past that into southwest Queensland around that Birdville region. You could see some thunderstorms along that strong southerly change that we're thinking is going to be come through on Sunday. But we do also see an increase in that tropical activity at the same time, and that's because it looks like on Sunday we'll see that burst of the northern Australian monsoon continuing into Monday as thunderstorms persist over New South Wales. Now that's why we have that area of pretty dark shading over there, indicating totals over 15 millimeters. But I would take that with a grain of salt, because that's going to be occurring from about Sunday onwards, and most of those totals are going to be in thunderstorms, so it'll be relatively isolated. Over the north of the country, you can expect some regions to receive over 200 millimeters in the next week, with persistent showers and thunderstorms.
What if I've got it wrong? What if it's going to be twin cyclones? Not twin volcanoes, but twin cyclones. Irving and Joyce. Because Joyce is the next one after Irving. Well, the most powerful Atlantic hurricane in the season just gone was Irma, the ice storm. So Irving is Australia's ice storm for this season. And Irving, yeah, I knew from the moment I saw that name, that's the one. And I connected it to another boy whose birthday was on the 15th of September last year. and sorry, the 6th of September, but he turned 15. 1 and 5 is 6, so you know. So it was a Wednesday, the 6th of September. Today is a Wednesday too, and he turned 15. And I made a prediction for his birthday as well, because he was the boy who told me that Wetterling means weather child, and it's Jacob Wetterling and Nathan Breeze who have handed me this prediction to read off the sheet, if you will. And yeah, they are pranksters, so they never give me exactly what's happening. They always make it into a riddle, and I have to try to work it out, which is kind of annoying. But that's, you know, if you're dealing with 12-year-old pranksters, that's what you get. Well, I say 12-year-old because Jake was 11, Nathan was 13. The boys in this book are the twins, identical twins, Daniel and Samuel. Well, they're 12, and I think that book is, yeah, the 12-year-old twins. There's going to be twin signs. I don't know what they're going to be, for sure. Whether it's erupting volcanoes or could it actually be twin cyclones? I don't know. Irving and Joyce, because on the birthday on the 6th of September, the boy who told me that Wetterling means weather child, and that was back in 2014 when he told me that. And he was exactly the same age as Jake when he told me that. The same age that Jake was when his life ended. So that was kind of weird. And yeah, he said, well, I made a prediction. Well, he said that Wetterling is weather child because he used to live in Germany, so he knew German. Wetter, weather. Ling, little one. And Breeze, of course, is the surname of Nathan. So both weather-related surnames. And Nathan died in a weather-related event, a bushfire, Black Saturday. So this Saturday, the 6th of January, is looking pretty, almost like a mini reflection of Black Saturday, with the heat hitting Melbourne and then the change coming in very late in the day. A strong southerly. And that's actually what caused the change in direction of the fire in which Nathan died at Kinglake West. So it's all very strange. And what's really strange is that even though, like my prediction for September 6th last year, which was for Jose, the J storm, to make landfall at 9:45 PM Australian time, which was a ridiculously precise prediction, but you know, I don't always take myself too seriously. I thought, you know, might as well go with a very precise prediction and see who takes me seriously. And if it happened to come true, I'd look like a genius. It didn't, but I made that prediction a long way ahead, because I thought the J storm, Jose, as I thought it was pronounced, it's actually Jose, but it's spelt without the little hyphen. It is actually pronounced Jose, which is Jewish then, and it means God will give increase. Otherwise, either way, it's Joseph. It's another name for Joseph. And so Jacob came from the town of St. Joseph, so I thought, yep, that makes sense. And it makes sense to make a prediction for the 15th birthday of the boy who told me what Jake's surname means. I already thought of Jake as the Storm Boy, but I didn't know his name actually meant Weather Child. So, yeah. Amazingly, Jose formed the day before his birthday, so September 5, and then became a hurricane on September 6. And Irma, meanwhile, was one of the strongest hurricanes the Atlantic's ever seen, and tore through Barbuda on September 6 or September 7, around there anyway. It depends what time you're looking at. American time, local time, Australian time, international time, whatever. I think either way it was the 6th when Irma went through Barbuda. So very strange. Other dates that I flagged are December 6th, which coincided with Donald Trump making his Jerusalem announcement. So, kind of weird because Jake's initials are J-E-W, Jacob Irwin Wetterling. Irwin's not that far off the name that I've been talking about. which is Irving. And yeah, it all makes sense. It's all sort of come together in a weird, strange, unusual way. A bit like the way I found the book, Red Rain. 2 hours after I wrote Red Rain, I'm sitting in the library and there's a book called Red Rain sitting on the shelf right next to me. I'm like, whoa, that's weird. Especially because it was Halloween in 2015. So, December 6th, what else happened? The Thomas Fire roared into into the populated areas of California. Heaps of houses burned down. So, and other fires also impacted urban areas in California on December 6th, which was 28 years since my encounter with the Aquarium Man at Western Park, which was another story altogether. And then 16 days later was Friday the 22nd of December, the birthday of Ebony Simpson, and that's where it gets really strange, because I had a lot of stuff happen that day that was so coincidental. It was kind of like out of this worldish and almost surreal. And a meteor made a sonic boom over Canberra that very night. So there were no volcanoes, but Tropical Storm Tembin hit the Philippines and caused a whole stack of damage there and killed, I think, 200 and close to 300 people died in that one.
Choosy.com.
Choosy. Yeah, so don't use these travel agencies, by the way. They're a complete rip-off. They just suck you in. They take a nice, decent little commission. So far from finding you the cheapest price, you pay more. That's what I discovered. And if you make a booking, you can't cancel. So yeah, just deal directly with hotels. That's my motels. That would be my advice. Don't get sucked in by these travel agencies. They're almost as bad as politicians. I guess they're all in bed together when you think about it. Big business and politicians. Yeah. What else? December 22. Yeah, Philippines got hammered by Tropical Storm Tembin. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff. That was 16 days after December 6th. And then the date that I'm flagging now, the date of the twins, the twin signs, or maybe, I don't know, I could have it all wrong. It might be twin cyclones, Irving and Joyce. Who knows? It's 16 days again. So December 6th plus 16 days, December 22, Ebony's birthday, plus 16 days is John's birthday, January 7. And it was the same back in August 21 was Josh's birthday. The boy to whom I connected my message that I saw as I was waking up from my dream. Have faith, Josh 10 9:45, which is where I got the time, 9:45. Well, that was. Let's speed this up because I'm going to finish this video. The time 9:45 could be part of this whole thing. That's what I'm thinking. And the reason I think that is because it connected to Hurricane Harvey making landfall. Hurricane Harvey hit San Jose Island at 9:45 p.m. on Friday 25th of August 2017. And San Jose Island, Jose was one of the storms. And that happened a few times, I noticed. It was like different things alluding to other storms. Irving was a bit different. When I heard the name Irving, I just had this memory of the boy who I made the prediction for Jose for his birthday, September 6th. I had a memory of him using the name Irving, and he probably didn't ever say that name to me, but it was like in my memory he did. So when I heard the name Irving, when I read the name Irving, I thought that's it, that's the one, that's the big one for Australia this year. Yeah, that's it. We're down to 0 minutes, so I have to go. Bye.